Hello and welcome to the Art of Selling Online Courses. We are here to share winning strategies and secret hacks from top performers in the online course industry. My name is John Ainsworth and today's guest is Benjamin Pang. Ben was a software engineer in the financial industry for over 10 years. He ventured into network marketing, found his passion selling online, and changed his career to be a digital marketer. Now, since then, he's worked for Tier 11 as a media buyer and a technical marketer. They're a badass Facebook ads and other kind of ads agency. Now he's one of the founders of Beachboss Influencers, which is a business coaching company, and LeadMagicX, which is a lead management software. And today we're going to talk about Beachboss Influencers and their journey and the growth that they've been able to achieve while working with us. Now, before we start learning from Ben, I want to mention our sponsor. And today's sponsor is my company, Data Driven Marketing. And what we do is we help online course creators increase their online course revenue 2 to 5 times through strategic funnel optimization. We used to say 20 to 100%, but then people started getting much better results. So now it's 2 to 5 times. We help you convert more visitors into leads, more leads into sales, and increase the revenue per sale. If you want to find out how much more you could be making from your online course, go to datadrivenmarketing.co/calculator. And we'll figure out for you, we'll do a personalized calculation for you, help you figure out how much more you could be making. So Ben, welcome to the show.
Hey, John, thanks for having me here.
So talk to us about Beachboss Influencers. Who do you guys help?
Yeah, so we help network marketers to basically build a brand, build influence on the internet, because one of the struggle is that they have been using mostly offline strategies. They reach out to their friends and family, or in the old days, they go to the mall and prospect everybody that they basically see there. And I have done the same thing, right? I run into a stranger, try to build a relationship in the mall, like as they're shopping, we try to strike a conversation and get a follow-up information. It's like all network marketers are basically doing that, and that's really like strategies from the 80s, and then it's being taught for so many years, and there hasn't been any innovation. But with internet, like people are online, right? Most of the time they're looking at the screen on their phone. So when I was in network marketing, and given that I have a developer background, I was like, why can't we make this work online? And I started to explore and found that there's actually millions of businesses that are promoting online already. And that's how I ventured into digital marketing, learn how to promote a brand online. Then for Beachboss Influencers, we specifically teach network marketers how to build a brand that will basically bring people to them. It's a super new concept. People think that we have to go after people. We have to like pitch them. We have to hard sell them, bring them to, business presentation. But our methodology is actually the opposite, right? We want people to actually reach out because they trust us. We build that know, like, and trust factor, right? And when people reach out, because they trust us, whatever we offer, they will actually take it. Like whatever business we're in, whatever product that we're selling, they will buy it. Just like, on YouTube, when you are following an influencer, you love their content. And then when they say, hey, this product is actually super great, try it out. Hey, you're super likely to get that product. So it's the same concept here. We're just teaching that to network marketers and helping them to grow the business.
Nice. So network marketing, is Amway an example of that?
Yes, exactly. So Amway is like the not the dinosaur, but they're still alive. They're the oldest, one of the oldest company. A lot of people heard about it. Yes, it's a very good example of network marketing, and you probably like have been approached by someone from Amway before, and know how hard selling or how it come off with. Like that person might not know better, right? They've been taught by the outline to pitch to their friends and family. But that's why we're changing. Like we're changing the mentality that, there's actually a different way to build a business.
Nice. So you're kind of taking internet marketing, you're applying it to a field that hadn't got that as part of it before and kind of changing the way the industry works. Nice.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
So talk to me about your funnel. What made you decide to get in touch with us about upgrading your funnel originally?
Yeah, so at the beginning, we were building all the funnels, email follow-up ourselves. And I would say we were okay at doing that. We make, over 7 figures just by using our own, the funnel that we built at the beginning. But as we get more students, we have to fulfill on courses, coaching, and a lot of different things. And quickly, we kind of plateau on how much we can do. So that's when we were looking to outsource for more professional help on building out funnels and also email follow-up. And I think the main bottleneck is on the email follow-up as well. So when we get the lead, they go through the tripwire or maybe some upsell, but then it kind of stopped there, right? So we don't really, reach out to them again. We send them value, but we don't send them promotions. So we weren't running like monthly promotions or rolling out new products the way that we're doing now. So that's why we reach out for help. Is first is to scale, to get that scalability so that we're not burnout. Second is to hire people that are better at this to help us grow, because so that we can focus on what we're good at, which is coaching.
Nice. So talk to me about that in terms of the burnout, because you mentioned that in there a couple of times. Like, what was were you seeing that start to happen? Were you just concerned that was a danger? Like, what was the issue for you around the burnout?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have one tech guy in our company. He's also the founder. And then basically all funnel work, all emails go to him, and everything technical goes to him. So basically, very quickly, we kind of overwhelm him. And I know some of the stuff, and there are other founders that also can jump in. But we all have our role, right? I run marketing for Beachboss influencers. I run their ads. So there's a lot going on there, and other founders have to coach students and other programs. So basically, we were thinking like, how can we scale beyond what we're doing? So the question is trivial, is either we hire in-house, we interview, spend a ton of time to kind of qualify who is good, or we hire a credible agency to do it for us. And that's how we came across you.
Nice.
Yeah.
And in terms of time, anybody listening, Ben is like the most busy person that I know, in terms of he's like always got all these different projects on his plate. He's like all involved in like, oh, I've got this company and I've got this company. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Nice. So what
That's
do you
why my
think?
goal is to consolidate for sure.
Is to cut it down a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds good, man. Yeah. So talk to me, like, if you hadn't changed, what was likely, if you hadn't said, right, I'm going to get you guys to do something, or I'm going to hire someone to do this for me, what would have been, what's likely to happen? And I just want to ask about this because I see with people that I think it's useful for people to see like ahead of themselves a bit in the journey, so they kind of know what's coming up. And so if you're able to share any of your experience around like what you were seeing in terms of that being an issue or what you thought was coming up, I think that'll help other people too.
Yeah, so it's definitely, the burnout, and also I can totally see that our growth is going to be plateaued because with just ourselves, there are so many promotions, or there's so many email copy that we can write, right? I mean, we don't have all day sitting down and writing copies for sales pages, for emails, and that's basically high value tasks as well. So we don't want to just randomly hire a VA to do it. If we don't outsource, then we're gonna just stay there. Like, we probably cannot do a monthly promotion because of there's so much going on. Maybe we're gonna do like once a quarter, and that will bring down revenue, right? It won't, the business won't scale to the point where we want it to be. And we do want to impact more network marketers, but our time is limited. Like, all our founders have a family, like 5 of them are moms, full-time moms, basically. So they're taking care of their family and then building the business on the side. So the only way to scale is really to outsource. Second one is like, if people are burnt out, if our founders, everyone in the company are burnt out, then it's less fun, and then they will gradually lose interest. So that's a huge part of it. But we want to keep the business fun, and that's why they created the company as well, to make it fun to build network marketing. But at the same time, when they're building Beachboss influencers, they're also enjoying it. So if they're burnt out, trying to juggle between like family and all the funnel work, all the coaching, then quickly it will burn them out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
So in terms of what we've actually worked together on, like, what's some of the parts that Josip and Monica have been working on for you? What's some of the things that have made the biggest difference?
Definitely copywriting for both sales pages and emails, because you guys have the experience, know, the templates, what funnels work well. So it's really shortened our kind of learning curve. So at the beginning, I was in the courses, right? I was in your course trying to learn this stuff, right? And I know that I have the capability to learn it, but that will take me months and not let alone the experience that I need, right? So because I haven't built like funnels for many different industries, so the experience is gonna be lacking. So that's one thing. It's like I'm basically getting your experience and also your skills on copywriting and building out funnels. So I think that's the most valuable part.
And what's some of the kind of results that you've seen with that in terms of, you mentioned the email promotions, the sales pages, what's some results you've seen?
Yeah, so before hiring you guys, definitely we were just relying on a revenue coming in from Facebook ads. And then also we have some upsell in the back end, but we were not doing effective email promotion. So once we implemented that, we have an additional 1/3 of our revenue coming in, like 30%. We basically grew our revenue by 30% just, by rolling out email promotions, monthly email promotions. So basically increasing that lifetime value for customers. That's crucial. And that's why we are not really impacted by the increased cost per acquisition on Facebook, because everybody is screaming. And I've seen like so many cases, companies just stop running Facebook ads. They stop hiring agencies to run Facebook ads because it's expensive to run ads now, and then you're paying also extra for hiring an agency. So without increasing lifetime value, we wouldn't survive. What's changing on not just Facebook, but on all ad platforms. So that's one of the biggest result that we are able to get, and also higher conversion rate in our funnel. So one of the tweak that you guys help us to make, increase conversion rate, I think is about 40%, which is super significant. And again, it's going back to the experience you guys have, like knowing what works and apply it on our business. And that basically, shorten our growth, or our path to success. Like if I learn it and apply it, it's gonna take me like probably 6 months. And by just hiring you guys, it's like, once you implement it, we get results. So
Sweet. So one of the things that I think, if you've not done ads before and you're listening to this and thinking this is like, how does this all fit together? One of the crucial things is, if you're spending money on ads, you don't need to make money. You don't need to make profit from the ads. And that people hear that and they're like, well, that's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. It's like, and ideally you would, right? You run the ads and you make more money back than you're putting in. That's cool. But
yeah.
what happens is, what Ben's talking about is, you've got the back end where you're running these email promotions. So the customer lifetime value goes up because that person will buy more over time. Each lead becomes worth more because they buy more things, or a higher proportion of those leads buy. And so therefore you become profitable maybe 2 weeks later, or a month later, or 60 days later, what have you. I've got clients in the SaaS space who are actually making profit back like 3-4 months later, and they're totally happy because those people stick around as customers after that. So long term, it's more profitable. And this is one of the things that a lot of people who are running ads don't understand, is how much money they've actually got in their business that they're not tapping because they're not running these email promotions like Ben's talking about.
Yeah, and I think it goes into the risk tolerance that people have. Sometimes they don't see the long game, and they might be less risk tolerant, where they have to make they want to put out $1 and make $1 back on the first day. Where some businesses, you can't, what their expectation is, they put $1 out, but they make that $1 back at the end of the month. So they give themselves 30 days to kind of make that $1 back. And in your case that you just mentioned, it's like 3 months. So it's about like how much risk you can take. But if you spend $1 now and then you're gonna make $3 back 3 months from now, you're probably gonna invest everything you have into the business, right? So it's really about figuring out the funnel you have, like how well it convert. And once you have all the numbers, you know that you're gonna make that money back. Like you're taking a risk, but it's gonna be educated risk. And it's actually less risk because you know that the funnel work. Once you build up your funnels and you know that it works, then you can just scale it.
Now, one of the things that helped with making that increase in, so that's one part of it, is making money back long term. And another part is make as much money back as quickly as you can. You talked about like a 40% increase from that front end funnel. One of the things I know that the guys changed for you was the upsell. And I talk to people about upsells all the time and how important it is to have them. And I think that conversion rate went up a lot. And part of that was you changed the offer on the upsell. Do you remember the details of like what you had before and what you changed it to?
Yeah, so for that upsell, actually, that's 300% increase. So I probably should lead with that. So we went from, actually, you know what? It's more than that. It's probably 700%. And we went from like a 2% take rate to 15%, which is, the norm for good upsell. So basically, we were selling a continuity program before. And then what happened is, there's friction there because continuity is not one time. You continue to pay for the subscription. So by changing that out, we basically roll out an offer that's one-time payment, and it's a lower dollar offer as well. So by doing that, we just increase the take rate, and the conversion rate, went to 15%. So it's really significant. It's just changing one thing. It's like, imagine your funnel is, involves multiple steps, and by just changing the upsell, we're able to up our lifetime value because now more people are buying the upsell.
Nice. And it's one of the things that I recommend to everybody if they're doing a front-end funnel. So that means something straight after the lead magnet, that you have a tripwire offer and then an order bump and an upsell, or if you're running ads straight to a tripwire offer, something like that, is the upsell with cold traffic or less warm traffic should almost always be a one-time thing rather than recurring payment, because new people who've not spent money with you before are nervous about signing up to recurring. If you've got an email promotion that you're running and you're selling a product, and then behind that you've got an upsell, that can be a recurring payment. And we've actually got clients where that works great. But as the front end one, it's generally a great idea to have a lower ticket one-time payment that somebody can make. The kinds of amounts, I can't remember what your one cost, Ben, but the kind of payments we see there that work are somewhere around $100, tends to do pretty well. Do you remember what your one was?
Yeah, so the old one was a continuity program, a yearly continuity program for almost $300.
Okay.
And then the new one is just under $100.
Nice. So it's 7 times the conversion rate, but with a third of the price. So you're looking at something around about double the profit from that one particular thing.
Yep.
Maybe a little more. Nice. Amazing. One of the things that you guys do that I think is really interesting, is pretty different to what a lot of people I see do, is you've got like a high ticket product that you sell on the back end behind all of this. Could you talk everybody through how that works?
Yeah, after someone bought the tripwire, they basically get on a coaching call with one of our coaches, and then basically we help them to get some breakthrough in their business, educate them, and then we basically offer them our high level package. So that's where the conversion happens. So it doesn't rely on a funnel. It's basically, having human interaction, building that relationship, giving them value, and then, offer the next thing in what we have to offer.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's a really interesting one, I think, because a lot of people get into courses to get away from like actually dealing with people. I think, like, I don't know if that's maybe an exaggeration, but I think that's like mostly true, is a lot of people selling courses aren't also interested in doing a big group coaching, high ticket kind of thing. But what you're doing actually brings in a huge amount of the profit is from those group coaching programs.
Exactly. And I think that's all it is about. Like, coaching is all about impact. So you can do one-on-one or you can do group, but the reason to do group is having a bigger impact, right? And one-on-one, you're going to charge a lot higher. So usually people, for us, we start with group coaching so that our time is worth. We teach all the students at the same time. They have the opportunity to ask questions. And at the same time, we're building relationships with all of them. So that's the cool part.
One of the things that you guys have done that's been super interesting is you've built this up to, I think you're at multiple 7 figures a year now, right?
Yep, correct.
And I think it's a really interesting combination of those two things. I'm not seeing that many people do is the courses plus the group coaching. Did you say you also do one-to-one coaching for people as well?
Not really one-to-one, but smaller group.
Okay.
Like if the group is smaller, it will get more expensive, which makes a lot of sense. We haven't done one-on-one yet, but that's yeah. So basically, it's just the more time people get, the higher level the program is gonna be.
Nice.
Right.
And what effect, because I know a lot of people struggle with the iOS 14.5 updates, or 14
Mm-hmm.
updates and then 14.5 and all of that. What impact did that have for you in terms of your cost of a new lead?
Oh, it almost doubled our cost per acquisition, which is on the front end offer, right?
Right.
So it's basically it took a couple months to kind of double. So we had time to kind of prepare and kind of streamline our funnel, but it's never the same before. Like, if we can get back the CPA we get 4 months ago, we'll be scaling our business like to the moon. It's just a different landscape now. Less data, Facebook has less data to play with, and they're trying to do better, and they're getting better. But at the same time, it just put a lot of business into this position where they're struggling because they cannot figure out their funnel, how to increase their conversion, or how to build better or more relevant ads. So it's like the better marketers is gonna stay, and
Mm.
then kind of get rid of people that don't really take marketing seriously or couldn't figure out a solution actually to this whole madness that's
It's really,
happening.
really interesting. I remember when I first learned about Google Ads, this is many years ago now, read an ebook. I remember it was like $80 or something like that, because that's how much ebooks cost back then. It was like from Perry Marshall about Google Ads.
Huh.
And it was
Right.
fascinating because it was covering Google Ads, and it was covering how do you write the copy and how do you set them up and that kind of thing. But what it was mostly covering was how do you then increase the conversion rate in the rest of your funnel? How do you improve your sales page, and how do you set up an upsell, and how do you have email promotions that go out on the back end? Because
Right.
that's like how you actually make the most money from the whole business.
Mhm.
And now, but a lot of people didn't take that, they didn't need to, some people did, and that was great, and they did really well. And now it's like, it's almost a necessity if you're going to be running stuff with ads, because ads is getting so much more
Absolutely.
expensive. We had another client that we were working with who they had Facebook ads running already, and they were already doing okay with them. And then we set up some of the stuff around the upsells and the order bumps in their funnel. And their Facebook ads agency said to them, like, what have you done? Because we're making you're making 50% more revenue from every new lead that we're getting you than you were before. And they're like, oh, we've got order bumps and upsells now. It's cool.
Right. Yeah. Just by adding two extra things, and
Yeah,
yeah,
so good.
absolutely.
So what's your advice to people who feel stuck at the moment? Anybody who's feeling stuck about growing their business? Because you've been super successful with this. You've grown to multiple 7 figures a year. You've got a lot of smart stuff in place. It's kind of allowed you to then have the ability to hire other people to help with different things. What would you say to anybody who's getting stuck at the moment?
I would say try to find people that know the solution or can help with solving the problem. So either hire like business coaches or hire an agency that solve the specific problem that they have. So for us, it was scaling our business by improving our funnels and also rolling out more promotions so that we can increase lifetime value. So at that time we didn't know exactly how to do it, and if we do, it's going to take us a long time. And that's why it's always like people have to get into a mindset of paying for progress, right? It's just like in the games, like you have free to play, but other people actually pay to grow faster, to progress
Mm,
faster. The same thing is in business. So something that other people don't know, and that's why your business is stuck. Like there are many successful businesses out there. Why is yours stuck? Because you're not doing what they're doing, right? So how can you get to where they are? So you have to breach that knowledge gap, right? So you need to know what they know, what they're doing actually. So like you cannot ask your competitor, of course, but you know that who they're hiring. Like there are not a lot of good agencies out there or good coaches out there. So you just have to look around, find the right coach, find the right agency that can help you take your business to the next level. And of course, there's no better marketing that can solve a poor offer. I think that's from Ryan Dice. So
Yeah.
your offer has to be good. So otherwise, nothing else is gonna work.
Yeah, and I've been hearing from everybody recently about $100 million offer from Alex Hormozi. It's like that's the place to start supposedly right now. I need to read that book, and my copywriter's, Monica's read it and says really good things, but everyone's raving about that for trying to figure out how do you improve your offer beyond just, obviously you've got to improve the product, but also improving other stuff around it. One of the things that you do, Ben, that I've always been, that I remember when we first talked about this, I was super impressed. And it was about like what you've just said, like hiring coaches, signing up for programs. Because you said to me, like, oh, I didn't know about this thing. So I signed up for this coaching program and then I learned that. And then I didn't know about this thing. So I signed up for this coaching program and I learned that. And then you've been like super successful business-wise. How did you first learn how valuable that was? Because I think a lot of people are slightly nervous about putting money into those kind of things. And I think I've been guilty of that before as well. It's like you spend the money and actually do you get the return? How quickly you get the return? And so how did you get started with that mentality around it?
I guess it was actually network marketing, because network marketing is all about personal development. And like if you gone through any training in network marketing, you would value personal development, period. Like that's basically built in. So for people that are new to businesses, you have a main job and then you're building a business on the side. Just think about like we went to college, we spend like all this money, and then we're making the income that we're making right now. And if we're not happy with it, but we still spend those money in education. So why do we do that, right? There's some value to it. At least it got you the job. But now if you want to build your own business, why don't we need education on building businesses or building funnels and writing emails? So it's all about education. It's like putting stuff into context, right? We have done it before. We just don't compare it to what we have done before. It's like going to college. Like that's like a given. Nobody thought about, the money I put in, is it worth it? But when they look at the course and look at the coaching program, it's like thousands of dollars and they freak out. But it's like we pay so much more for college and we don't really get that entrepreneurial education. And people in business, they know what they're doing. They're selling, let's say, a couple $1,000 course. They're actually telling you what they're doing. So it's actually a lot of value in those courses. Just have to pick the right one, and I guess not to fall into the shiny object syndrome where you go through course over course and then you don't implement.
Yeah.
And then you figure out like, oh, that's a better strategy, or that the other one is a better strategy. Just focus on one that, like, let's say Facebook ad, right? Facebook ad still works. You just have to figure out how to make it work for your business. Focus on that, and then take all the courses that you need for Facebook ads, or even hire an agency to do it, and just put your heads down to do it.
I think one of the things that people get stuck with when they're starting is people want results back from it immediately. I think it's very difficult when you're first getting going, like, because you're not making money from it yet. And like mostly that's not the people that we're working with, but I definitely see this as someone's just getting started and they're like, I've invested $2,000, which to me is a lot of money. And then I need the result now. And I need you guys to just like spoon feed me it. It's like, but the more courses, because I spend, I don't know, tens of thousands a year on like courses and group coaching and all this kind of thing. And what I see now is, right, it could be one thing that I learn, one module of it, or one bit of advice that then makes me tens of thousands of dollars extra. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. But it's only because I've built everything else up that allows me to leverage that to then get to that next level. It's like you've got to invest quite a long way ahead, I feel. It's interesting.
Yeah, so I was a developer and I know nothing about marketing. So at the beginning, I was actually struggling to pick up those concepts like marketing funnels and writing sales copy. It took me basically at least 3 years. So I started learning about this industry about 3 years ago. And then I completely switched my career to digital marketing 2 years ago. And then, in the meantime, I was building my own business. But I didn't get to this point by just taking one course from last month.
Yeah.
It was like listening to a lot of podcasts, paying coaching program, getting to connect with, really quality people. They're business minded, they're go-getters. And then I was fortunate enough to meet all the founders in Beachboss influencers. That's how we founded the company. And without all those, like without actually educating yourself, connecting with other entrepreneurs and building from there, there's no way you're gonna make it happen, right? So those educations is super crucial. It's like going to college. One of the things is to network with other people as well, and then build your your network. It's exactly the same thing. Picking up the skill set in digital marketing.
Ben, thanks so much for that. I really appreciate it. That you've got some awesome wisdom for people there. If people want to check out your course or anything from you, from Beachboss Influencers, where should they go?
Yeah, so they can go to go.beachbossinfluencers.com/formula-s. So basically that's the funnel that's a free training that we offer to network marketers on how to, like, the beginning concept of how to build the influence online so that they don't have to face all the rejections from people or hard selling or reaching out to friends and family and who are not interested most of the time.
Got it. So if you want to funnel hack Ben, then that's the place to go. Or if you're interested in network marketing, that's the place to go.
That's also the place to go.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, everybody, for listening. If you found this interview useful, give us a review wherever you listened or subscribe. Come join the Advanced Course Creators group in Facebook, and you'll get early access to future interviews and support with growing your online course sales. Thank you, everybody, so much, and we'll see you next time.
Cool. See you guys.